Hello, this tune is called La Nonchalante, and it's the tune by a composer called Emmanuel Pariselle, who I think makes diatonic accordions, or melodions as we call them. I even think he runs holiday courses where you can learn to build your own. I haven't found the details of that, but I'd be very interested myself. This tune's got a couple of really nice things going for the chords. One is that it's got a bass line that descends, so a standard chord, A minor chord, but with a walking bass line down by semitones. And I think his version goes down another semitone to F, but because I don't have that much left hand technique, I just jump mine to D minor after that. The other thing that it's got is a cycle of fifths, which I really like again. That's the second part of the tune. But in addition to that, over the cycle of fifths, there are some suspensions and tension and relaxation, so it's doubly nice. This is the simple version. So very, very simple, and you can decorate that later on with more fiddly parts, which I've shown you. So I'll take it from the beginning, but I hadn't, in the introduction playthrough, I've only played the main verse once through. Obviously he repeats it lots and lots of times because of the changing words. So this is the start, the way I've played it on the music that you can get the link for. But remember, the main tune is the reason for playing this piece. So here's the right hand. It starts on a C. And then repeat the B. Repeat the A. And then walk up from G sharp. And then I double the speed of that, that's tension and relaxation. Now I play that bit twice as fast over the same chord sequence. So it's a sequence of 4 descending notes. Then you play it down a note. Then you play it down a note. But the little trick there is that although that right hand is playing 2 beats in a bar, the left hand carries on in 3. So the left hand would be, and you have to put the second note in the gap. So it's, so the first note's a clash, and then the second note comes on its own, not with the left hand. Once more. So you get a bit of rhythmic interest there. So now we get on to the proper tune. It's slightly swung. How much is up to you? I suggest you listen to Pariselle singing it and get the actual rhythm from that. So it starts E A. And that happens in sequence. And that repeats. And the whole of that passage repeats. The last note's different. So most of that just moves by step and is quite straightforward. There's only 1 or 2 leaps in it at all, and there are only thirds. I won't spend too much time on that. The next, that bit is over the walking bass, so that would be. That's the harmony that goes with that. The next bit is over the cycle of fifths, and it's got lots of syncopations. Just play that again. Lots of E's, then D's, then E, D, B. Then you go down to a G and walk up. tune's nice enough actually. So here's that section again. That second section is repeated. And that is the big part of the piece. The rest are just my ideas. So the next thing I've done is put the introduction back in. But this time, the second half, instead of just playing, I've put chords underneath those. The E isn't part of the chord, that's the beauty of it really, that it's a D minor chord. So you put the rest of D minor on the second beat of the bar, you just change the top note of the E for the clash. And you do the same thing, you make sure the hand's playing a G apart from the top note. And the same thing, the next chord is playing a C apart from the top note. Exactly the same, it's an F chord apart from the top note. A D minor chord apart from the top note. An E chord apart from the top note. And then an A minor chord all the way. So if you know it starts on E, and you just put the others in. If you want me to tell you the notes, I'll do it quickly. Under the D minor chord, it's F and A, then D and G, then E and G, C and F, D and F, E and B, E and C. Now the next little bit is just another decoration on that. So instead of having using the chords to map out the moving part. So, not block chords, but so it sort of alternates bars. The first bar is arpeggio, and then moving by step, arpeggio, by step, arpeggio. That's the first half of that tune. Let's go back to it. D minor. That's really an F major triad, which makes it D minor 7 for those who are interested. And that's over the G chord. And then a B, but over a C chord. Then D minor, obviously. Second part, instead of the block chords we had before, so instead of the, I'm just playing one inversion higher and jumping around the notes. So it's just the arpeggio starting on an F in the first case, then a C major arpeggio, and a D minor arpeggio, then a C, which is nice over an E chord, then walk down. The last thing I did, which I would rather you took out than left in really, but this tune reminded me of a piece from my clarinet playing days, and so I just thought I'd stick in a quick reference to that. The main tune reminds me of a tune from Carmen, and again that comes with a bass line. So that's just there because it made me think of it. There's no great desire for me to stick it into what is already a very good piece by Pariselle. So that's the right hand. I'll just zoom in a bit for the left hand. So the left hand starts on D minor, and fortunately quite straightforward because it's a cycle of fifths. So we just walk down, find your D, it's 2 above the C. In minor, that's bass, chord, chord. Remember the bass is there. The front row, by the way, if you've got them, some people call them the counter basses, that's the third of the chord on its own. It makes it quite nice when you're walking down, but otherwise you don't necessarily need it. So we found a C, 2 up for D, that's the bass row vertically. Next one back would be the major chord, and one behind that minor chord. And we want the minor chord to start with. So D, minor, minor. And then G, major, major. C, major, F major. And if you can find a D again, and often I either jump or I grab the C on the way past, because that's the one that's got the sort of, in my case, Velcro or a sharp bit on it, and then you can scoot past that to back to the D. So D minor again, up to E, which is already marked with a bump as well, A minor, A major, and then you more or less do that again. So D again, minor, G, C, F, D, E, A minor, and you stay at A minor this time. So just once more, because that comes a lot under all the parts that change, whether the left hand is, sorry, whether the right hand is doing, or if it's doing the more decorative one. It's the same left hand pattern. So that's the opening, which is also the same as the second section of the main tune. Then we go to the main tune. This is the one with the walking bass, and I find it by finding my E marker, and I know my A is just behind that. So it starts with A minor. That's A minor, minor chord, and then what you want to do is find the E row, and that's the G sharp button there. So because we talked about having the thirds of the chord on the front bank here, we know, because that's part of the E, that's E major, that the third is G sharp, and we want that to walk down. Now we need, so semitone that way is quite small. Then we have to find the semitone that way, which is a bigger jump. That's the G button. We're staying on the A minor chord, and then we need the F sharp, which is also in the front row. So once more, this is find the E button, find the A minor, and we're going to walk A to G sharp, find the G, and then down to F sharp. So A, G sharp, G, F sharp. So I use the ring finger for all of those apart from the G sharp, because my finger's there. And the reason I stay with my ring finger for the F sharp is that I need to stay on the A minor button, and it's too big a stretch to go with the middle finger. As I say, once I've done that much, then I switch to D minor, to E major, D minor, E major. That's the first time. Second time, the walk down's the same. A minor over G sharp, A minor over G, A minor over F sharp, D minor, E, D minor, A minor. So that's the first part of the tune. Second part of the tune, we've already learnt the chord sequence order because it's the same as the beginning. D minor, G, C, F, D minor, major, A minor. Obviously that's much slower. It's and then that opening chord pattern repeats and repeats and repeats, because on the sheet music that you've got now, that's when you get the varied chords and the little filigree pattern. So once you've got that far, you've got all the left hand stuff. You just have to know which bit the left hand goes with the right hand. The only other thing I haven't shown you, just out of interest, is the B8 bit. You start off with 3 A minors. Firstly, straight A minor, then A minor over E, then A minor, then here's the walk down. We have the G sharp, but this time, you don't have to play this at all, by the way, it's just my little insertion. This time, over the G sharp, we've got an E chord. Then you want to hop down to the G minor, and I play the G minor then because I can't find E flat quick enough. Once we got to the G minor, the relationship from the A minor to the E is the same as G minor to the D. So we've got the G minor to the D, and then we're back to A minor, E, A minor. So that's A minor over E, A minor, E over G sharp, G minor over G, D over F sharp, and then back to A minor, E, A. But that's just for those that are interested in that. It's a beautiful tune, but please watch the Emmanuel Pariselle version where he sings, because if I could sing, I wouldn't be playing the accordion. That's great, thanks.